But listen, Miss Pugh, don't speak over me. Miss Pugh, just because you say respectfully does not mean that you get to interrupt me. That's disrespectful, right? Hang on. Listen, Miss Pugh, stop talking over me. If you want to stop talking over me.
Where is the verified claim that is being placed against my trust?
You can go back with the bailiff. Go back with the bailiff. Get your own attorney or represent yourself if you don't like it.
Asterisk, all right, folks. Today we've got a no-nonsense judge facing off with a full-on sovereign citizen, and things get heated fast. This woman shows up armed with nothing but a tiny slip of paper and the usual sovereign citizen script, clearly thinking she could just rattle off some pseudo-legal jargon, drop a so-called legal bombshell, and walk out scot-free. Honestly, it's baffling that she even managed to follow her own script. If you've ever watched one of these before, you already know where this is headed. Let me know in the comments what you think of this wild exchange. Now, let's jump in and see how this courtroom clash unfolds. Asterisk, asterisk.
Good morning. Are you Janetta Pugh?
I am the beneficiary of that estate.
You're the what?
I am the beneficiary of that estate.
You're the beneficiary of what estate? Answer my questions, please, ma'am. I'm just trying to understand.
Beneficiary of that estate.
Okay.
For the record, I recognize Ms. Pugh. She's been here before.
I do as well, for the record.
And I looked into Mr. Christopher Wiley. I can't find that person as a practicing lawyer in the state bar page, and I have not been contacted by anybody on Ms. Pugh's behalf.
All right. So, Ms. Pugh, Mr. Lewis has been appointed to represent you at this point. Obviously, you know as well as anyone that you're in custody and we want to get your case taken care of. If you've hired or your family has hired another lawyer, then they have to contact the court so that we can do something with your case. And do you know if they've hired someone?
Respectfully, Your Honor, I do not agree with your appointed foreign agents, considering that the first duty is to the state and will be considered conflict of interest.
Okay, so if you don't want, the only thing I can do, I'm appointing an attorney to you to help you, right? So if you don't want a court-appointed attorney, then your only option, two things. One is to represent yourself or to hire a lawyer. So if you don't like the way it works, then you do something different. So are you, listen to what I'm saying. Are you either going to represent yourself? Or are you going to let Mr. Lewis represent you? Or are you going to hire someone?
Objection, Your Honor. Respectfully, is this a court of record?
It is a court of record. So your objection's overruled.
Okay. Respectfully, Your Honor, where is the verified claim that is being placed against my trust?
It's right here. It's called an indictment. And Mr. Lewis has a copy of it and he can show it to you. So that would be the verified claim against you.
Okay. Your Honor, respectfully, Your Honor, there were writs that was filed to the case that still haven't been received.
I've received your petition for writ of habeas corpus and it's denied.
Okay. Respectfully, Your Honor, I demand to be released due to lack of evidence of stated claim and not being given the proper opportunity to obtain proper counsel, defective defense.
It's overruled.
Okay.
You're running out, aren't you?
No, it's fine.
No, seriously, this is just embarrassing at this point. She's making a complete fool of herself, and honestly, we're all here for it. I'm really enjoying the judge's attitude, though, just calmly sitting there, letting this girl burn through her sovereign citizen nonsense like it's open mic night at a conspiracy club. It's hilarious how these folks genuinely believe they've discovered some hidden legal cheat code, like saying, "I do not consent," is going to make all their problems vanish. Newsflash, that's not how jurisdiction works. The courts have ruled on this time and time again. I'm actually shocked this sovereign citizen managed to read the script at all. Let's be honest, that's a rare talent in that crowd. But seriously, how did she even get to this point? What was the thought process here? She actually seems polite, She's using your honor and everything, but it's clear she's completely lost and just grasping at straws. Let me know what you guys think about her, because I genuinely can't wrap my head around how someone ends up this deep in the rabbit hole. It's one thing to read about sovereign citizen stuff online, but it's a whole other level of delusion to walk into court and actually try it. Anyway, let's jump back in. This disaster isn't over yet. Asterisk, asterisk.
So here's the thing, Miss Pugh. I appreciate your position, but listen,
Respectfully, Your Honor,
Miss Pugh, don't
with my
speak over me.
incarceration- Respectfully, Your Honor, with my incarceration being
Miss
involved-
Pugh, just because you say respectfully does not mean that you get to interrupt me. That's disrespectful, right? Hang on, listen to me. Everything you have there is overruled. And here's one of the reasons why, is because you have a lawyer. And your lawyer will file the appropriate motion. You're interrupting me again, which is disrespectful. So I'm going to leave Mr. Lewis as your attorney unless you choose to represent yourself or hire someone else. I'm going to give you 2 weeks to determine what you're going to do. You can go back. You can go back with the bailiff.
I do not agree or comply to your appointed
Go back.
agents.
You already said that, and that's overruled.
Duty is to the state.
Go back with the bailiff. Get your own attorney or represent yourself if you don't like it.
Yeah, that was definitely embarrassing, but hang on, because this story isn't over yet. Believe it or not, this sovereign citizen actually comes back for another round later on. And don't worry, I've got you covered with that hearing too. At this point, I honestly think the judge deserves an award for her patience. Arguing with a sovereign citizen like this girl is basically like talking to a brick wall, except the brick wall thinks it has a law degree. Seriously, major respect to the judge. She's doing her best to stay calm and make sense of all this nonsense. She's being snappy when needed, but still shows restraint, which is honestly impressive. Personally, I think she's handling it all really well, but let me know your thoughts on the judge so far. All right, let's jump into the next hearing and see if things get even crazier than they already have. Let's dive in.
Perfect. So, Miss Pugh, Mr. Jeffries has been appointed to represent you. He's just been given, he's trying to get caught up real quickly on all the information and the discovery in your case. I'm going to reset your case so that he can get all of that. Once he gets it, he'll be out there to go over it with you, and we'll see if we can get an announcement at the next court date.
Respectfully, Your Honor, I do not agree to comply with any of the appointed court agents, considering that their first duty is to the state.
I understand. We've had this conversation before.
And for the record, I'll be representing myself.
So if you want to represent yourself, there's some things. Ms. Pugh, stop talking over me. If you want to stop talking over me, if you want to represent yourself, then there is a process that we have to go through, and we'll do that today. If that's what you want to do, we'll get your case set for trial and we'll go forward that way. It is highly inadvisable for you to represent yourself. Lawyers have many, many years of training. They understand the law. They understand how a trial works, because here's what happens. When you're in a trial and you represent yourself, you're expected to know and follow all of the rules of evidence, all the rules of procedure. And so you're really at a disadvantage if you don't know those things. And so you have to do everything just like the assistant district attorney would. And if you don't, you're going to be in front of a jury, and it's going to show, and it's just not going to be, it usually does not work out in your benefit. But I have to go through with you some questions first before we do that. And then if you still want to do that, then there's a couple of things couple of options, and we'll go over those as well. Okay. So I am supposed to ask you, I'm going to go through these questions. I need you to answer them if you want to represent yourself, because this is required. All right. So have you ever studied the law? Okay. Have you ever represented yourself before in any kind of criminal matter? Okay. Do you understand the charges against you?
I'm never been accused of.
Okay. And so do you know, and we've gone over before, I think, what the range of punishment is if you're found guilty on a jury? Do you know what that is? Let's see. Hold on a second. Let me pull you up here. We'll go over that again as well. The date of that allegation is from June 22nd of 2021. And what that means is if you're found guilty, that the range of punishment that the jury could give you is between 2 years as a minimum punishment up to 10 years in prison, anywhere in between. Do you understand? And you answer out loud just for the record.
Do I understand? No, I don't understand.
What do you not understand about that?
I swear I knew she was going to say that. I called it. Believe it or not, guys, these sovereign citizens have officially started to infiltrate my brain. I'm genuinely losing brain cells day by day trying to break down the nonsense these people spout. It's exhausting. They're not just insufferable and ignorant. It's honestly sad to witness. A lot of them probably have some real mental health struggles, but that's only part of the issue. The bigger problem is how much public time and resources they waste. Courts and law enforcement are already stretched thin, and these folks just come in acting like the laws don't apply to them, tying everything up with their delusions. Also, side note, I'm kind of surprised she didn't bring her little script this time, like she did in the first clip. Maybe that time she spent under county jurisdiction in jail helped her finally memorize it. But seriously, if she ends up choosing to represent herself in court, she could be facing 8 to 10 years. All right, let's dive back in and see if she actually tries to defend herself, because if she does, things are probably not going to end well.
I don't understand, Your Honor.
So here's the thing. If you want to represent yourself by law, you have to be able to understand these things. Otherwise, I've got to appoint an attorney for you. So you can't just say, I want to represent myself because I don't like the attorney or I don't like the process. This is the process that you're in. You live in Texas, you live in the United States. This is the law that applies to your case. So what do you not understand about the range of punishment if you're found guilty? And I'd be glad to explain it.
I don't understand because I haven't did anything wrong.
That's what a jury's for, right? And so if you say you're not guilty, then you go in front of a jury and they determine after they listen to the evidence if you're guilty or not. That doesn't have anything to do with if they find you guilty, you understanding that they could send you to prison for between 2 years and up to 10 years. Do you understand that part? What are you, yes or no? No, you don't understand that. So, Ms. Pugh, it's my understanding, I'm not going to allow you to represent yourself because you don't understand the law and the process. So we're on question number 4 out of 15 that I'm supposed to ask you. So Mr. Jeffries is going to stay on your case. I don't care what you want at this point. You can't do it. All right, you can go back with the bailiff. I'm done. Go back with the bailiff. Go back with the bailiff. Welcome to the criminal appointment list.
Yeah, fun, Judge.
This was not meant to be any kind of punishment, I promise. So Mr. Jeffries, get ready like you would. Probably it's going to go straight onto a jury. And we'll just get it figured out that way. All right.
I honestly think this judge did a 10 out of 10 job. Let me know if I'm wrong. But from where I'm standing, she did everything in her power to give this person a fair hearing before finally having her removed from the courtroom. The level of patience she showed was seriously impressive. I mean, I probably would have lost it within the first 10 minutes, but she kept her cool the entire time. That said, it's also kind of sad watching people go through this. The judge genuinely tried to be patient and gave her every opportunity to explain herself, but we all knew exactly where this was going. Also, I just want to say, I'm so sorry to anyone who lost brain cells watching this. I truly apologize for the inconvenience. These sovereign citizens trying to make sense of anything is peak cringe, but somehow, it's also wildly entertaining. Watching them squirm in front of the judge is like watching someone try to freestyle dance their way out of a corner, with zero rhythm. You could literally see this woman's brain working in overdrive, desperately trying to come up with some made-up legal nonsense. Spoiler alert, it didn't work. But hey, I'd love to hear what you all thought about this hearing. Drop your opinions in the comments, especially about how the judge handled things. And if you enjoyed the video, a like and subscribe would mean the world. I post daily, so stay tuned for more. Thanks so much for watching. Take care, everyone.